88. Wagianto SPD 78. SPD 76. Jumlah Arif Saifuddin 496. Wagianto SPD 492.
It is interesting to discuss about the elections of leaders in democratic villages and governance in Indonesia villages. In general, the consequences of democratic practices must vary. On the one hand, election of leaders through democratic procedures has become a feature of normal grassroots political life, especially in Lamongan. Villagers have the hope of being able to choose the desired leader and release him in the next round, or both, if they are corrupt or careless with their authority. Importantly, village democracy functions within the political environment to have a positive impact on all areas of community life. At least, the Lamongan district government has performed significantly in building more accountability efforts for the village government system. Although, on the other hand, the practice of democratic village has unwanted interest because there must be a lot of evidence in the results of the village head elections by only establishing a part of the village. We really want democracy to work, whatever the outcome.
Local government implementation. Payaman Village Democracy in Practice, Lamongan, East Java. The process of strengthening local democracy in the context of implementing Law Number 26 of 2014 concerning the village law, in which the main goal is building village in order to develop it as an independent, democratic, empowered, and participatory region so that the village becomes the lowest and smallest unit of democracy and local government administration supported by strengthening at the hamlet level. Villages, which are part of the democratization process, in fact are not free from this problem. The tendency of democratic practice in the village tends to fall into the vortex of procedural democracy. Such things can be seen in the implementation of the pilkades, which is a vehicle for democratic parties in the village. The existence of these pilkades in Law Number 6 of 2014 is regulated in Article 34, which reads: First, village head was chosen directly by the villager. Second, village head elections are direct, general, free, confidential, honest and fair. And third, village head elections are carried out through the stage of nomination, voting, and determination. A hamlet development led by the hamlet head is important in a series of processes for empowering villagers to participate in politics directly. The practice of village democracy does not only stop at the village head election stage, but also the hamlet head. The regulation for the election of hamlet heads at the national level is the Minister of Home Affairs or Kemendagri Regulation Number 67 of 2017 concerning the appointment and dismissal of village apparatus, which was then operationalized into the Lamongan Regency regulation. The election of the hamlet leader is a necessity for good and quality community services in line with the principles of good local governance. The hamlet head election is based on the Lamongan Regency Regulation Number 43 of 2017 concerning the appointment and dismissal of village officials in Lamongan Regency and the circular of the Lamongan Region Number 141/69/413.012/2017 regarding technical instructions for appointing village officials. The hamlet head election in Payaman Village, Solokuro District, Lamongan Regency in December 2021 is a historic moment in village-level democracy. The contestation among the village head candidates was intense. Selection between hamlet heads begin with an initial selection of candidates in the hamlet environment to recruit 1 to 2 candidates who will compete democratically. There were 7 candidates to fill the post of hamlet head for the 3 hamlets. The democracy that took place in Payaman Village can be read as a phenomenon of rejecting the general premise of democracy in Indonesia, which is elitist and predatory. Democracy in the election of dozen heads in Payaman Village presents a distinctive local democracy color that is not elitist in character. The selection between candidates for the head of the hamlet needs to be underlined that here in Payaman Village there is still participatory democracy, perfect competition that does not include predatory elites. Democracy practiced in Payaman Village is also not an oligarchic democracy, or a type of oligarchy who wants to maintain wealth as well as power sizer through electoral competition through the hamlet heads election with an elitist character. This competition among the hamlet heads candidates mean that the village administration has succeeded in reducing public affairs to the village level, especially to the village level as everyday politics. Democracy in the life of rural communities becomes a simple form of democracy and deserves to be institutionalized in rural communities. Understanding the development of democracy in Indonesia, especially rural communities, so that the initiation of democratic villages in Payaman Lamongan is sought. The election of village head officials creates a professional village apparatus. The human resources of the village apparatus as village government developers need to increase their capacity through technical training that supports the planning, use and reporting of budgets to the creation of a democratically made up to the village level. The selection test for the hamlet head election in Payaman Village in December 2021, which involved the campus as a third party, was the beginning of the idea of realizing a democratic village substantially. The examination was carried out for the selection of prospective hamlet heads in the 3 hamlets, namely Bango Hamlet, Palerangan Hamlet, and Sejajar Hamlet, on December 6, 2021, and took place openly at the Payaman Village Hall. When the calculation of the final score of the participant does not meet the minimum threshold of the required value of the passing score for the exam, Pancasila and UUD 1945 and Islamic religious knowledge, in accordance with applicable regulations and maintaining the credibility of a professional, honest and fair test from unfavorable presumptions, the screening test is repeated. The re-examination will be held on December 11, 2021, until 2 participants from the same hamlet obtain the same total score. The candidates for the head of Bango Hamlet on behalf of Arif Saifuddin and Wagianto passed with the same total score of 472 with an average of 78.67. Such a rare occasion to happen in the dynamics of village democracy. After going through various considerations, it was finally agreed that the final exam would be held for 2 participants with the same total score. The final screening exam will be held on December 16, 2021, and it went smoothly and safely. The selection of the hamlet lead election in Payaman Village in December 2021 is a momentum for how important campus involvement is in implementing democratization at the village level. The paradigms of village officials that previously prioritized family relations, old apparatus, dynastic politics, and politics full of various interests is an old view that must be changed. The mechanism for selecting the village head in Lamongan Regency refers to the Regent's regulations or Perbup number 42 of 2017 in order to realize the professionalism of village officials and real synergy with the campus. The screening of candidates is carried out in a strict selection. The technique of making exam questions requires special knowledge and abilities because there are methods and professions that are academic in nature. The materials tested consisted of Pancasila and the 1945 constitutions, knowledge of village government, religious knowledge, general knowledge, office administration, and computer information engineering or ICT.